hair tutorial. So we're going to start with just a regular French braid, and the camera is going to lift up and come above. I'm going to do the single French braid, just one straight down the back of the head. I know that this is not a style that we do for dance. I know we typically do the 2 French braids. However, I think that it will be easier for us to get the gist of the braiding patterns by just doing one big one first, okay? So we'll start with that. What time is it? 12, 11:20. All right, so the first thing that you're going to want to do, and again, I know that this is not one of the dance hairstyles, but if you're a parent or a sibling or a dancer who wishes to do their own hair or one of their friends' hair, then I would suggest starting with this, just one braid technique and just giving it a whirl. So I just took the top portion, like a top triangle of the hair, and then I'm going to put my fingers through so that I have 3 individual sections, okay? From there, I'm going to separate them, and I now have one section in my left hand all by itself, and then the 2 sections I have on my right, one is in between my pointer finger and my thumb, and the other is in between my pointer finger and my middle finger. Okay, what I'm going to do next is flip the piece furthest to stage right, I would say, but furthest on my right, in between my between my pointer finger and my thumb on the right, in. So I'm just flipping it over the other one, okay? And then I'm going to grab with my left middle finger that piece that I am putting in. Okay, so I'm going to show you again. We started with just the triangle of hair, made 3 sections, separated with one section being in my left hand, 2 in my right. The 2 in my right is the hair in between my thumb and my pointer finger, and then a section of hair in between my pointer finger and middle finger. What I'm going to do is take this outside piece of hair that's in between my pointer finger and thumb and twist it over to bring it in, okay? From there, I'm going to reach with my middle finger for my left hand and grab that piece of hair. Now I have 2 pieces of hair in my left hand and only 1 in my right. So that initial strand of hair that's in between my thumb and pointer finger on the left side is going to then go in. So again, twist it in, okay? We need to now grab another section of hair. So in order to do that, I'm going to take this piece of hair, this random strand of hair on the right side, and put it in between my left thumb and left pointer finger. That will open up my right hand. I'm going to grab a chunk of hair from the right side of the head. I'm going to redo that so that I can explain it. Lean. Grab a chunk of hair, attach it into that thumb and pointer finger of the other hand, and then take it, grab hold of it, put my pointer finger back through and twist it in. I'm now left with one strand on the left side. Okay, back to the thumb as I was left the last time around. So I'm going to now take the strand of hair on this side of the head, add it into the thumb, well, in between the thumb and the pointer finger of the right hand. Okay. After doing that, grab that section that you were just holding. Put your middle finger through in between. So again, separating 1, 2, and 3. And turn it in. Another section of hair. See how I grab it in between my pointer finger and thumb just to comb it down. And then I re-grab it and separate it from the rest. Put my middle finger in between the 2 sections I had in the other hand. Grab in the thumb. Okay. Another strand. Hold. Switch it and grab. Middle finger through. Switch over. Grab another section. Comb it down. It's in between the thumb and the pointer. Grab that section, put the middle finger through, put it down. Again, another section. And when I do this in a little bit, as I'm showing you the competition 2 braids into a bun, I'll use a pick to make these parts even and straight so it will look more neat, but I'm just focusing on the switch over of the fingers and the hands right now, okay? So grab, middle finger through, switch. Comb it down. Another section. Thumb, pointer, grab it, middle finger through, swish it down. Another section. Comb it over, grab it, middle finger through, swish it over. Another section. Again, between the thumb and the pointer finger, but then I'm going to grab that strand, take my middle finger through on the opposite side, swish it down. Section it off from the other side. It's between the thumb and the pointer finger. Grab that section that you've just added it to, put your finger through and swish. Next. Thumb and pointer. Grab that section that you've added it to, put your middle finger through, swish it over into the center. Swish the wrist into the center. Next. Middle finger through, swish into the center. Grab, middle finger through, swish into the center, comb it down. Next section. Grab it, middle finger through the other 2 that were in the other hand, swish it over. Add to it. Grab it away, middle finger through, swish it over. Grab it, middle finger through, swish. 1, 2, and then braid it down. So lean your head over. Single French braid. Okay, so now I'm going to take it out. And since I had broken that down, I thought it would be easier to break it down with just one, so it would be bigger. But since I've done that, now I'm going to move to the 2 French braids, which is what we typically use for our acro and anything else outside of the bun for competition and or recital. Yeah, just competition. So I'm going to comb it out. I'm going to take a pick, anything. It could be a pick, it could be something pointed. I was just braiding my mom's hair tonight actually, and we didn't have a pick. We had one of these, but not one with a pointy end. So we used one of those topsy-turvy things. What's that? When you do a ponytail and pull it through. We had one of those. I don't know. That used to be the cool thing back in the day. Anyway, I used one of those. Anything, you could even use a pencil. Just anything to make a good part. Sorry. Topsy tail, is that what it's called? Can't remember. They're not really in style anymore, I guess. So I'm making a part in her hair. Back in the day when I had a ton of hair and it was super thick, it was easier for me if I had wet hair when we were doing this. Okay. You don't necessarily have to have wet hair, as some of you already know. If you've already been doing competition for a while, we oftentimes go from bun into these braids into bun. But it's very much easier to keep the part and separate the hair if it is wet. So whether it be wet from the initial get-go or from you doing it in between dances by spraying it down, keep in mind that that might be the easiest route. Okay, so once your part has been made, I find it to be the easiest if you take one segment of the hair and pull it aside in a hair tie. I know sometimes that's not possible if we only have 3 numbers in between dances and we're in a hurry, but if you can and if you have the time, then go ahead and pull it aside. Okay. Then have your dancer look up. So this is going to be the same thing as we just did with the one, except for a little bit skinnier. And the only other difference will be down towards the bottom. So I'll make a little bit of a triangle. And as I said, this time around I'll try to do the parts a little bit neater. Since we don't, I'll try and use actually this little side of the pick. Okay. It's okay, because they may not have a pick with a planer. So if not, you can use one of these and just try and use one little peg of it. Worst case scenario, use a pen or a pencil. Anything just a part. Yes, perfect. Or the end of a brush. If it's pointy, that's perfect. Yes, so I made the triangle, making my 3 sections. Okay. I'm right-handed, so I always start with them in my right hand, but you can totally do that in your left hand. And I take the one that's furthest to the right over the middle. Flip it over the middle strand. Grab it with the middle finger. Take the one farthest to the left over the middle. Grab the outside strand, okay? This is where this comes in if you just want to make the parts, each part of the strands very specific. Grab that section, put it in the thumb, switch the middle finger over, okay? Another layer. Grab it with the other hand, switch middle fingers over. Middle strand. Grab it with the other hand. Put your middle finger through, swish over. Again, in between the thumb and pointer finger, and then grab the outside strand in order for the other hand to switch it over. You can always comb it down in between. Take your right hand, grab it, put the middle finger through, switch it over. Another strand. Okay, again, the outside strand that's in between the thumb and pointer finger is what you're going to grab with the other hand. And then use the other hand's middle finger to go in between the other two and swish it around. Grab it with the other hand. Put your middle finger through. Pull it, swish. Next segment. And just keep in mind you can always brush it out in between each braid just to help keep the static down and the frizz and the tangles. Grab it with the other hand, middle finger through, swish. Comb it down if you need to, switch hands. Middle finger goes in between the right two sections and swish over. Next section would be the opposite. So I grab with the right hand, my right middle finger goes through, pulls through and swishes over. Again, if this is for recital or performance, then definitely yes. If you have the time to use a pick or a comb to straighten out these parts and make them even, then please feel free to do so. Yes, it does help. But if you're in a hurry, then that's okay too, because I know that competitions can be a hassle, and I know that we're always just running around ragged sometimes. So as long as we have the braids down, that's all that matters. Okay? Okay, once we get to the bottom of the first side, everybody does this different, but the way that me, Miss Casey, and I, myself and I, tends to do this is to braid the first braid all the way down, just a regular braid. And I tend to go as far as I can go. So even if you see some of these little hairs poking out, that's okay. I know that it's not perfect, but I would rather just get as much hair braided in as possible, because we're going to end up twisting it in for a bun, so just as much as possible. And then you guys all have baby hair ties, little rubber bands, but I'm going to use this one for today. All right. So, what I can already tell you, and this is just like helpful hints to think about when you're doing it, is if you were to do this one first and you see this looseness down here, see how that's hanging? Then that tells me that this one needs to be wrapped up tight.